Hi, what's up? In today's episode, I'm going to be showing you a few tips on how to bake a cake, including how to make a cake to be flat on top. So stick around until the end of the video and learn or get some ideas on how to make your cake to be soft, fluffy, and moist. Yeah, so if you're new here, I'm Scovia and welcome to Infoods Specials, where the recipes are always simple and amazing. And I'm always happy to show you something new that you didn't know, like today. So to get started, I have my margarine on my bowl. So to my bowl, I'm going to add in sugar. Then, before doing anything, you're going to preheat your oven at 180 degrees Celsius and line your baking tin. I'm using a rectangular shaped tin, and line it with parchment paper and oil the sides, all the sides. Yeah, you oil all the sides, including the bottom part where you're placing the parchment paper. Yeah, so that is one tip of how to make a good cake. Make sure that your tin is oiled. I'm going to cream my butter and sugar together until combined. Once combined, I'm going to pick my spatula and check if everything is well combined. And next, I'm going to be adding eggs. So a thing about eggs, or a tip about eggs, they should be at room temperature. So if you've placed your eggs in the refrigerator, don't just take them out and add them in the cake batter, because they are chilled. They're not cold, they're chilled. So that will also mess up your cake. So make sure they are at room temperature. I'm using 3 eggs for this recipe, so I'm going to whip this up until creamy. So when mixing up the eggs together with the margarine and sugar, you should make sure that if you're using a hand mixer like mine, you should make sure that it is at high speed, because you want the eggs to get whipped up until they are light and hairy, so that your cake can be fluffy. That is what makes the cake to be fluffy. And also make sure to scrape the sides of your bowl. Scrape the sides of my bowl to make sure everything is getting whipped up. And by now it's looking silky. So this is the most crucial part in making a cake. Yeah. I'm going to whip it up 1 more minute. Scrape the sides of my bowl, and as you can see, my butter is creamy, it's light. So this is going to make an awesome cake. So to my bowl, I'm going to add my dry ingredients. So first of all, I'm going to add my vanilla essence, because we're making a basic vanilla cake. So I'm going to add a teaspoon of vanilla. Mix the vanilla in using my spatula. And it's working miracles. It smells so good. I like the smell of vanilla. Actually, vanilla flavor is my favorite when it comes to anything that adds flavor. So now I'm ready to add in my dry ingredients. So I'm using a sieve. This is another tip. If you want your cake to be very light, you have to sieve up the flour or the dry ingredients. So I'm going to add in my flour to my sieve. Add in baking powder. Make sure it is a teaspoon of baking powder. Then I'm going to add in a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Whisk in. Whisk in some of the dry ingredients. Then I'm going to mix using my mixer. Then I'm going to add in a little bit of milk. Scrape the sides of your bowl, make sure everything is combined. Then I'm going to add the rest of the flour and milk. Using my spatula, I'm going to give my batter a mix. Then I'm going to whip it up about a minute using my mixer. So another quick tip for you, don't overmix the batter, because once you overmix the batter, the cake will crack on top. Yeah, or the cake won't be as moist because you have activated the gluten. So the next step is to scrape the bowl a little bit, just to make sure that everything is combined. Then because everything is well combined, I'm going to add my batter in my tin. Look how silky that is. Make sure to get everything from the bowl, and all the batter is in the baking tin. So I'm going to tap my tin 2 times just to release the excess air, and then also to flatten the top. You have to make sure that the cake is flat on top, or the batter is evenly distributed in the tin. Another quick tip for you to bake a perfect flat cake, you should bake your cake at 180 degrees Celsius. Make sure that it is not above 180 or below 180, because once it is below 180, the cake is going to be underbaked. If the temperature is above 180 degrees Celsius, the cake will rise rapidly. Hence, the cake will crack on top, have a very hard crust, and the bottom will also burn. So you won't have a very moist cake. The cake will be dry because it is overbaking because of the temperature. So you make sure that your temperature is at 180 degrees Celsius. Learn how to use your oven, or study how to use your oven to get that perfect temperature for your cake. Also, make sure when placing the baking tin in the oven, you place it at the center rack of the oven, because you want all the heat to be evenly distributed when baking the cake. Yeah, so my cake is ready to go into the oven, and I'm going to bake mine at 180 degrees Celsius for 50 minutes. My cake is ready, and I've been baking for 50 minutes, no over baking. And I cooled the cake in my baking tin for around 10 minutes, and then when it cooled down, I removed it and put it on the cooling rack so that it can cool further. So I hope this video helps you to make a very nice cake that is flat on top. So if you're looking forward for frosting your cake, it will be even more easier to frost, because you don't have to cut down the cake because it is flat on top. Thank you so much for watching this video until the end, and I hope I've been helpful, because you are going to make an amazing cake that is flat on top. It's moist, fluffy, and very delicious. So catch you on my next one. Bye.